But interesting
What'd you
enough.
say? Nobody has Cody's son? Guess who has Cody's son?
All right.
Here's
But
the thing: it's hard to play. It's hard to play them over certain people, though, right?
that's the thing, yeah, because like you don't know if they're gonna do that well against who they're playing this week. All right, so been told that we should introduce ourselves at the beginning of the video. So for the
Oh yeah, who told you to do that stupid shit? No.
So for episode 4, I think I only did it like twice before. I am a fantasy gamer. I bring some analytical analysis. That's a really weird sentence to say both of those words to this talk show. Whereas my friend over here,
I am Night Kid.
and
I bring the same, I guess.
he's pretty good at the game. He's pretty good at the game. Brings all the
Yeah.
game knowledge.
Game knowledge. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Game knowledge.
Sounds fair.
All right. Hopefully I fixed my mic and I'm a little bit louder this week. It wasn't too bad last time.
Sound good.
All right. So, moving in. Let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off and started. So, last week's results. So the biggest thing, I know we both picked Cloud9. But,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't make sense or anything else. Clutch Gaming over CLG, though. So we've been talking about how we've seen CLG on this stifling downward trend where there just seems to be no way that I can foresee them correcting themselves before playoffs. And the way it looks like now is
they're not doing
gonna,
anything this split, man. No way.
They're not making it in. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah. First day you had the two upsets, TSM and 100 Thieves winning. And 100 Thieves really surprising in both their games, really. Kind of took them out. I mean, last week they won, but thought it might be a little bit of a fluke, but now it's hard to say anything against 100 Thieves. I think beating Cloud9 is huge, and then going in getting a decisive victory over FlyQuest 2 kind of shows 100 Thieves is going to stay up there, even though we thought they were going to drop to the bottom of the barrel. I see them sticking up in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah. So that kind of brings us to the next thing. So this current standings right now. So we got Cloud9 is 1 game down from Echo Fox. Echo Fox is holding that first place spot, but it's that 3-way tie for third place right now that gets me kind of questioning and guessing what's going to happen right there, because a lot of that will
TSM's only 1 win out of that too.
Yep.
They're only 1 game out of that little bit also, but in that shuffle, it's hard to say. I'd say
anybody could beat anybody right there.
Man, yeah, it's rough. I want to say that Team Liquid is better, but with how 100 Thieves and Clutch Gaming have been playing, it's hard to say that. Now, the lineup that Liquid has, I'd say, is better.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
The way they play together, and you don't know, like, I don't know, man. I still feel down on 100 Thieves. Like, if 100 Thieves played Liquid or Clutch, I'd pick Liquid or Clutch. You know what I mean? I'm assuming that's going to happen this week, too. So I don't know. In those games, it's hard to bet against 100 Thieves right now. And actually, in this week's games, on our predictions, well, we'll get to
there in a second. Yeah. But yeah, so this is weird because usually I'm used to when we have ties like this, you put the alphabetical order. But right now, it seems like the NA LCS, at least Riot has determined that CLG is the worst team and put them at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah.
Even though they share the record with the Golden Guardians, which is that tie for last place.
But did CLG beat Golden Guardians the first time they played against each other?
I will check that.
Because if Golden Guardians just beat CLG, so that means they'd have the tiebreaker. That's why they are above them.
I believe CLG did beat them the first time, because the first win, this is easy for me because Golden Guardians didn't win until they didn't win until like 3 weeks ago because they've gotten 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. So. And they haven't beat CLG twice, and their first win was against Liquid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
Or was it?
No, their first win was against somebody else. Oh, 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves lost to them, and they were like, oh shit.
Was it 100 Thieves?
Yep,
that was their first?
100 Thieves, then Liquid, and then CLG this week.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're all caught up to speed here.
Because that was the week that we were like, oh shit, 100 Thieves got 0-2'd this week. Holy crap, what's going on? They lost to Golden Guardians? Holy shit.
Yeah. But you could see that coming with how bad they were playing. But now would be different, I think. They've been playing better.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So moving on, so this is the stats from last week as far as the game stats go, and then the players of the week. Interesting enough, 100 Thieves had a 2-0 week, but I don't think we planned or said that 100 Thieves was going to do anything last week as far as player points for Fantasy LCS. And
the one thing that I did have on the power rankings, I've always had Cody Sun higher up. I think he's a really good AD carry, so seeing him highest KD and most kills isn't too surprising.
Yeah.
Seeing Stixay on there is surprising though, on most kills.
Didn't CLG had an 0-2 week.
I know.
So it's like he must have.
Yeah, but that's not very high. 2 games, only having 12 kills. That's not very high for.
I mean, it's not
a whole week of LCS. You know what I mean?
It's not high, but as we can see with the good teams, they kind of spread their kills out, and you have at least maybe 2 solid carries or 3 carries, or at least 2 people who are really good, and 1 person who can be kind of like a fighter or bruiser, off tank, off carry kind of thing.
But 10 games total happening, you'd think somebody over 2 games would get more than 12.
Yeah. Well, they did.
That's
Cody
kind of
Sun
what
did.
I mean.
Cody Sun got one.
Yeah. I'm saying for that spot, 20 that's where it should be. But seeing that is kind of funky. Highest kill participation, Stixay, but that, like we said last week, highest kill participation, you'll usually see one of the teams that went 0-2 because they don't get very many kills. But he did have 12.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit different.
That must mean he must have been involved in either all 12 of the kills for both of the games, or he was involved.
Both of those are kind of ridiculous. The 2 AD carries being highest kill participation, because it should go to mid laners who are roaming, or supports who are roaming, or jungles. Seeing it on the AD carry means nothing happened like the whole time.
Yeah, it kind of
until team fights.
It pushes you into the meta that we have right now for 8.3, which, fancifully enough, 8.4 is coming up this week. It's gonna be big changes to the AP. Basically what we've been seeing in solo queue so far, but as far as LCS with the theory of crafting they can do, we're probably going to see some really big changes to mid lane and the dominance of AP items going into that. But
I'm going to want to see what happens when they get rid of, if they still are getting rid of tracker knife.
They're getting rid of the green.
Well, they were getting rid of it, but they're adding the pink. But then they took away adding the pink, so they might not get rid of it.
There's no warding item except for support items now. Because
it would change it a lot. For highest vision score is always the jungler.
Yep.
So maybe they'll have to change up how the support items work so junglers can still get it, or maybe they don't want junglers warding. I'm not sure. We'll see how that.
There was a talk on Beyond the Rift, which is Scara and Cutie Pie's talk show that they have, that they were talking to a couple of people who work at Riot and who developed the new tracker's knife and decided to take it out and put in the AP items. And they were talking about how they wanted to shift the game to where it was a more aggressive game, because at the beginning of season 8 we had a lot of poke in the meta, and people were going like 4-man poke comps or 3-man poke comps, and you're getting all these kleptomancy people that were just abusing the runes. They don't really want to revamp the runes so early again or change a lot there, so they're trying to fix the gameplay to kind of balance it out. And one way to balance that out is to remove vision from early on. And at that point, you make it to where people have to do aggressive plays, or when you're invading a lot, you have to.
Well, it might be not a lot of people are using maybe not enough people are using Zombie Ward and Poro Ward and stuff like that.
I use Zombie Ward all the time.
Yeah, a lot of people use it, and that's in pro play too. You see Zombie Ward all the time, but Zombie Wards just pop up everywhere because the junglers are warding so much. So take all those wards away, then Zombie Ward is going to be used to take out the pinks and the small amount of wards that people do get.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Poro ward might become more prominent also.
Yeah, I think the Poro ward might become more prominent because since there's going to be less wards to take down, you're going to be wanting to play some kind of vision, so that Poro ward.
And maybe they want their runes to be more used, so they're taking away and changing items up.
Yeah.
Could be possible.
moving into, so this is the champion presence for just this last week.
Had 6 people that were all 100%. I wonder if there were more 100% ones that wouldn't fit on the list.
Maybe. It looks like they went alphabetical. Well, no, Zoe's in there, so I feel like they would have thrown. But then they probably went on how many times they were picked, too. Because Braum was picked all 10 times. Zoe's all 10
Zoe's
times.
only 1 pick, 9 bans.
Well, her presence was all 10 times. So, I'm not sure. There might not have been. There might have been.
Yeah. I'm surprised Sejuani is there in 100% again.
Yeah.
The Skarner definitely needs to be banned because in pro play he is a bit too OP. You'd think people would be better at getting like the QSS and stuff, but the way team comps are set now, you need everybody on your team basically. So but the Skarner just takes the Taric or the Braum or whoever's front line, grabs them, the team pounces on them, kills them, and then they're not going to build a QSS. It's a Taric, you know what I mean? Or it's a Galio doesn't want to build a QSS. He's going all tank. He thinks he can take it, but then you pressure people into doing that, so they just start banning the Skarner.
Yep.
I'd like to see the Skarner win rate too, but since it wasn't 3 games, we don't see it. He only got picked twice, but I think he might have won 1, lost 1, if I remember correctly.
I believe you're correct on that one too. I don't think he was 100% win rate in his 2 games.
And the GP getting banned out again. It's funny that you don't see that many GPs in solo queue, but you see them in pro play so often now again, and banned all the time or picked. The Galio's probably going to drop off here with the AP item changes. I'm not 100% sure. Braum is surprising too, but like I said, having that front line to just take everything if somebody does.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised.
With Ornn being so high, Braum's wall just. I saw an EU LCS, I saw an NA LCS. Braum. People pick Braum right after Ornn, especially, and it's just you got Ornn's ult's coming in. Oh, it's gone. I think Biofrost blocked Golden Guardian's Ornn. I think he missed like 1 of Ornn's ultimates. That's it.
Yeah, so you need to ban Braum if you're picking something like Ornn for sure, and it's not like they're gonna pick. I mean, we did see a Yasuo pick from Huni this week, but you're not gonna see too many Yasuos picked into Ornn because the laning phase will be really rough on him. But I think seeing a Tom Kench go in, if a Skarner gets picked, they need to ban Tom Kench or just pick Tom Kench and a Skarner. He ults somebody. If he ults the Tom Kench, he should be able to get out of it in enough time and be tanky enough to get his bubble up. But if he picks anybody else, you just scoop him up with the Tom Kench and dip out.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's going to be a lot. The meta is ever changing in the LCS.
Can you scoop? Do you know with the Tom Kench, can you actually eat while they're in the stasis? Or do you have to wait until they leave stasis? Or the snare?
I'm not actually sure. I think you can grab them while they're in the stasis, but there's nobody else like Skarner's ult. I mean, they take damage in it, so I'm assuming you can pick them up.
I would assume so too. Something to try out.
If you get in stasis, they could scoop you up. I just played a game today as Skarner, and my ult didn't go off. The noise and the voice activation for the ult went off, and Tom Kench scooped him up right away, but then I still had my ult, so I just ulted somebody else.
Okay.
That was like a split second interaction.
Yeah, I had an instance like that today, but the ult just disappeared and the cooldown went up, and I was like, what the fuck? Nobody had spell shields or anything, so I was like, okay, that might be a bug.
The Ezreal 100% win rate is pretty funny to see, and the Kha'Zix 75% rate is pretty funny to see too.
It's like, okay, so we talked a little bit earlier
coming back.
The Cody Sun thing was how we saw that 80 carries have the highest kill participation, and they don't have a crazy amount of kills. And it's kind of showing us that, the game's going longer, which then also points towards the Sejuani and why people are picking up Sejuani and why people are picking up Galio. And then that leans into also why Gangplank is so high pick and ban. Because in solo queue, there's multiple different ways to punish a Gangplank, but if he's a good Gangplank, he should be able to stay stable in lane. At that point in time, if you can stay stable and you have good teammates, which in solo queue you don't, and you can control the other player even if they do get a couple kills on you from running the game like they can in LCS, the Gangplank will eventually get to the point to where he is a big damage dealing force in the team comp.
Well, yeah, you always see him get way ahead, and the kleptomancy plus the gold he picks up from his Q, they show like the graphs that could be even CS, but Gangplank will have 1,000 or 2,000
I will
gold.
go ahead and say that
So
he's probably going to go down to like
way
maybe.
bigger.
I feel like Gangplank's going to drop 8.4 in LCS because I think I've been seeing solo Q. He's not played as much mainly because his Q now eats a shit ton of fucking. He cannot stay even in lane early on anymore because his Q now eats a shit ton of mana. It does not cost like 12 or 20
we'll see.
mana
People
anymore.
might, instead of kleptomancy, they might be going into sorcery instead, get mana flow banned, and
Maybe.
a couple
I could
MR
see that.
or magic regen things, maybe build differently to where you can start mana crystal and get higher stuff like that. So we'll see. I think he'll still get played because he just scales so well.
So on to our last week's predictions. We picked Cloud9 for that game. Clutch, we both agreed on that one. Echo Fox, we agreed on the first 3 games, and then that was our deterrent for the first day. And then, sadly enough, we picked Team Liquid, even though I don't really like that team. But
sadly, well, yeah, maybe you should pick FlyQuest so I can get an extra win on you. Optic, yeah, they kind of smashed Golden Guardians, but as I said last week, if there was an upset to happen, it'd be that TSM Echo Fox game.
Yeah.
I didn't foresee the 100 Thieves one. I thought that Cloud9 would run over him, but like I said, if there was an upset, TSM Fox, because like I said, TSM has the team. They have the team to be able to beat Echo Fox too.
Yep. I think it's weird because I definitely know, like we talked about it earlier on in these episodes about how we want Cloud9 to be we want the top team to be very dominant. And yes, they can lose a few games to learn from those games. And I think I was kind of thinking, okay, they lost to Echo Fox. They're the number 1 seed. You know, they got to learn that. They got to lose that game. Learn.
Yeah, lost twice to Echo Fox, but then they lose to 100 Thieves. So
like,
you're like, come on,
come on. You're expecting them to take what they learned from Echo Fox loss and convert them. Okay, we learned something. We know it doesn't work. We're gonna fix it. Coming into the next week, we lost to the tied for 7th place team at the time.
Yeah, but now tied for 3rd. So
yeah, because they got
it changes up real quick now.
It does change up very quick. Definitely was nice as a Cloud9 fan to see Echo Fox lose. That kept us within the game away from Echo Fox. And I bet you it was really nice for TSM fans to see how dominant TSM was in that game, despite Huni popping off, which shows you that even Huni cannot 1v9.
Yeah.
But moving into the day 2 of our predictions. Oh, hold on. Sorry. We went 3 for me and 2 for you on that day. Out of the 5, moving into the next day of predictions, I think I did the same. You did a lot better on the second day, only missing 1 prediction.
And you know what? If we had, so if you had asked me my prediction after day 1, after seeing 100 Thieves beat Cloud9, I would have said 100 Thieves over FlyQuest. 100%.
I mean, but that's the whole. That's the point of predictions. Can't base it off of that.
Well, I mean, that's still before the game. You still get a prediction before the game. Now, the other one that I might have changed, though, if I had that chance, I might have picked Liquid over Echo Fox, seeing Echo Fox lose to TSM, too. So that one might have flip-flopped. But I definitely would have picked 100 Thieves over FlyQuest after seeing their performance on the first day. Everything else would have stayed the same. C9 against Clutch ended up being a good game, like we thought it would, but it also showed Cloud9's dominance a little bit better. Golden Guardians beating CLG was awesome. I kind of assumed that was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Fox against Liquid, like I said, after the day 1, could have gone either way, and then the other 2 kind of just fell how they should have.
Yeah, so CLG's just they look like a complete and utter garbage can right now. I thought Golden Guardians was looking bad, but you can see
here's the problem,
though.
So did 100 Thieves. Who knows? They might just switch it up
too.
But
it's starting to get to that point because like 100 Thieves had their drought. You know, week 3, a little bit 3. I think they went 1-1 and 3. They really dropped in 4. Really dropped in 5.
They still stayed I think they were 1 game under 500 was the worst they were.
Yeah, they were like 4 and 5, I think, and then they went 5
3 and 8 is much worse.
But
3 and 9.
It's like
hard to come back from. Even if they win both their games, they're 5 and 9.
Yeah, so like what I'm saying is
still in the they're still not playoff worthy.
CLG has a hard schedule coming up against them, and then they only have we're going into week 7. So week 7, 8, and then 9 is the last week of a spring split.
Yeah, so they got 6 games left that they can win. They can end 8 and 9.
Yeah, but they still got to play Echo
could-
Fox. And
Yeah.
Cloud9
I'm saying
and,
even if they win out, they might not make playoffs. Is what I'm trying to say. If they win out, 8 and 9 might be good enough to make playoffs. But right now, the team in 6th place is even at 6 and 6. So 8 and 9 is still 8 and 9. Not 8. They'd be 9 and 9. Sorry, 9 and 9. I was gonna say that doesn't work out evenly.
They have CLG plays Cloud9 and Team Liquid this next week, and then they will also go on week 8 play against FlyQuest.
Yeah, they're not making it.
Yeah, they're not. I don't see it happening.
They are not making it. It'd be hard for anybody to move because Golden Guardians are in the same position too. They're just not making it. FlyQuest and Optic, they have to pick it up, but I don't know if they can because the teams above them will most likely beat them.
I think Golden Guardians, I think they know they're not going to make it, but they're on that, hey, we're getting wins. This feels good. We're starting to win. We're learning, and we're going to steal some games from people who think they should have won.
Yeah, and we'll see next split how they do.
Yeah. So going on to our prediction record so far. So I put in week 5. Last week's predictions, I went 50%, and you had that solid 40%. This week, though, we were both nice and even with a nice 60%, 6 out of 10 prediction score, but that still leaves me ahead of you over our predictions with 53% to your 46. So
I'll just have to beat you out this week.
All right, and then I don't know how, but my overall prediction still stayed at 56%. But moving on, power rankings. So we're going into the power rankings.
Still got Cloud9 number 1, huh?
I still think that in a best of 3.
Yeah, we're not talking about in a best of 3. We're talking about in season. In season doesn't count. Power rankings don't count for who beats who in the playoffs.
I see this as how the split ends ultimately. After playoffs,
So how the split ends ultimately. The power rankings are supposed to look at it. What's the ranking system right now? Not where they will be, but so you're saying Cloud9, if they went up against any of these teams next week, they win. And then Echo Fox loses to Cloud9 but beats everybody else. Liquid loses to Echo Fox and Cloud9 but beats everybody else.
I still think,
so the power I'm saying for this week coming up.
Yeah, I'd say that would be correct. I'd say.
So you think
even though Cloud9, this is me being a diehard fan, but I got some rhetoric to back it up. Even though Cloud9 lost to Echo Fox twice, we've seen in their games, which has been, everybody saying it, they're very dominant in their wins, whereas Echo Fox is very shaky in their wins. And then we saw that Echo Fox loss, which we realize now when Echo Fox loses, they lose hard. Like there was no way of them coming back.
Bad to 100 Thieves too, though.
Yeah, Cloud9 did lose pretty bad to 100 Thieves, but their other losses, their losses to Echo Fox, which are their only other 2 losses, were very close. And it was kind of like a team fight shifted the game, or for instance, it was that bad pick top lane, but otherwise the team was even.
So here's the other question that I see on yours. I agree with pretty much everything, but 100 Thieves goes against TSM. You're picking TSM?
Yeah, right now I'd pick TSM. I think they're learning I think they're learning to work together enough to the fact that I think that they could beat 100 Thieves. They do have a really all-star roster, and it looks like the roster's finally clicking. And 100 Thieves, we saw a little bit more of a waverer in that midseason. Although TSM was losing, they had a lot of 1-1 weeks. They've had one week that was 0-2, maybe 2 weeks, whereas 100 Thieves had a couple weeks as well that were 0-2. But I still just think that the overall skill level of TSM is better than 100 Thieves' skill level right now.
All right.
So, but other than that, we did talk about CLG just driving to the bottom.
They've been at the bottom for us anyway.
Yeah, Optic and FlyQuest are tied for that 7th place spot. I want to see FlyQuest stay, and I want to see if they can take a game against that 6th spot playoff spot at 6th place by knocking out maybe if Clutch or TSM or 100 Thieves, or maybe even if Team Liquid drop some games, and then FlyQuest pick up some games against Optic, Golden Guardians, and CLG, and boost those numbers a bit. And then maybe scratch a game off of somebody higher than them.
Yeah, I don't see FlyQuest doing that.
Yeah. It's hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams, everybody. But moving on, your turn.
See.
Go ahead and explain yourself so far.
Well, it's hard to say that if Cloud9 played Echo Fox, that Cloud9 would win since they already lost twice to Echo Fox. So that's why that's there. What moved for me is I moved 100 Thieves up to the 5th spot. I still don't think they beat Liquid or Clutch, but I think they passed up TSM in the rankings. They've beat TSM. I think they probably beat them again. I put Optic ahead of FlyQuest also. Optic's been playing a lot better. I think they might beat FlyQuest. I dropped Golden Guardians way down because I've had a lot of faith in them, and they've let me down pretty hard, picking up just scratching those, and then same with CLG's staying down there.
Yeah, CLG's staying at the bottom, looking like complete dumpster trash.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
Moving on to Week 7 schedule and our predictions for this upcoming week. With the matchup that I have for the week being Team Liquid and 100 Thieves, if I see a change in the order right now, I see 100 Thieves, if they win this game, moving up into that tie zone. This is the first game of the next week.
Yeah, this is a really hard one to pick since 100 Thieves have been doing better. TL's always performed well. But 100 Thieves coming up, and TL just came off a win off of Echo Fox 2. 100 Thieves beat Cloud9. So this is a very difficult game to pick. I say we come back to this one.
You want to come back to it?
And go through the rest of all these easy-ass ones. And I could probably just predict for both of us here.
Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
We're both picking TSM, we're both picking C9, we're both picking Echo Fox, and we're both picking Clutch.
So wait,
Does that sound right?
TSM, C9, you say Echo Fox.
Oh, C9 will pick CLG? How about you pick CLG once? Just let me just see your
Fuck no, I have them at the bottom. Why would I pick them?
Come on.
I'm saying
the upset.
If I was
upset of the week.
If I was picking the upset of the week, I would pick the biggest upset of the week, which would be Golden Guardians beating Echo Fox, because that would just be really fucking fun to watch.
Maybe Optic over Clutch too. That'd be a big upset, and that's a possible one too.
Well, I mean, I don't think Golden Guardians beating Echo Fox is possible, but it'd be fun to see.
I don't know. Last time they played Echo Fox, they got down early, but they came back and looked like they were going to win.
That is
very
true.
Possible
that is
Golden
true.
Guardians has their number, just play the early game better. I'm picking Golden Guardians on that one.
You're gonna pick Golden
Guardians. Everybody's going to pick Echo Fox. This is my chance to beat over everybody, and you're going to stick with Echo Fox because you're a little pussy. So we're going with Golden Guardians over Echo Fox. And then, C9. TSM FlyQuest will be a good game too. That's one of those ones TSM I just think they win, and FlyQuest plays really well and beats TSM. But I'm still going with TSM on that one. C9, Golden Guardians Clutch. And then the next day, there's the one matchup that we were looking at that we might differ opinion on.
So did you chose Clutch for that last game of day one?
Yeah, I'm going Clutch.
Okay, I also am going Clutch Gaming.
I know you're going for all the favorites.
No, that's not necessarily a favorite. That's what I have.
Yes, it is.
It's what I have. It is a favorite, yes, but it's a power ranking.
It's 100% a favorite.
It's my power ranking, and I believe
you don't have to look at our
Bivin is amazing. He's an awesome
Here's
guy.
the funny thing. Let's see. If we look at your power rankings and the overall... if you look at the power rankings and the records... Yours are pretty much exactly the same.
No, I had 100 Thieves way lower. I have Clutch.
That's it.
I have Clutch lower than TSM. I have.
You have Clutch lower? No, you got Clutch over TSM on your power rankings.
Oh no, Clutch underneath Team Liquid. Clutch underneath Team Liquid right now.
Yeah, but they're tied. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it shows on the thing.
Well, I have 100 Thieves at 6th.
The only difference you have is 100 Thieves and TSM. We'll put it that way. So your power rankings are just like the favorites, is what I'm saying.
Well, it's coming to
the favorites.
It's coming
are
to
almost always on there as the.
It's coming to the end of the season, and it's getting easier to see where people are standing. And my power rankings do match the standings right now, but I think the standings right now are correct.
I'm just giving you shit for not picking Golden Guardians over Echo Fox. Is all.
So I thought you wanted to win, though. You should be happy that I didn't pick them. Because then we.
Yeah, sure.
That's your difference.
Sure, that's what it is.
Difference.
All right, we'll keep moving through that list.
All right, so
You're gonna pick Team Liquid also on day 2
Are you gonna pick
over
Are
CLG.
you gonna pick CLG?
No, I'm picking TL.
Okay, I'm about to say like.
We're both gonna pick Echo Fox over Optic.
Yeah. I had to think of some reason that I think Optic could win, but no.
Now TSM 100 Thieves, you're gonna go with TSM because you don't like 100 Thieves because you don't like Afromu.
Yep. Well, I like Afromu. I like the only brother in the league right now. He's a good guy. I just don't think that his collective shot calling is going to outweigh the skill that I can see in TSM if they're working as a cohesive unit.
I'm gonna go with 100 Thieves on that one. I'm gonna go with 100 Thieves over TSM.
All right, you going
see
with 100?
See if we can catch another one on you.
All right, I go TSM. If we're gonna see that, actually, I think that should be a really good game, honestly.
Should be. And then C9 over Golden Guardians, of course, and Clutch over FlyQuest. I know you really like FlyQuest. Here's your chance. Here's your chance. Does FlyQuest beat Clutch Gaming? Don't be a pussy.
FlyQuest beat Clutch. Let me take a look at the roster.
Don't look at your power rankings.
No, I'm looking at the power rankings. I'm looking at the Leaguepedia roster right now. So they've had Flame in top lane, Anda or Shrimp. If they play Shrimp, I'm saying no.
They're not playing Shrimp. They're gonna play Anda. They're gonna play Fly.
Okay.
They're gonna play Stunt, and they're gonna keep the same roster. They're gonna play Wild Turtle. So their roster's staying the same. Clutch is staying the same. The big one that we haven't talked about is
Dokla in Optic.
Dokla and Optic. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because we've been giving Zig a bunch of shit. He's at the bottom of our power rankings for top laner, and there he goes.
We'll get to that.
Out of there.
We'll get to that at the end. So because when we go over the players' stats, we'll go over that at the end.
I guess that's the other thing with the Optic and Clutch game too, though.
Is Dokla
now Solo's going
Zig?
against Okla instead of Zig.
Dokla, yeah. Which the one thing I did like about Dokla was that he seemed to be a little bit more aggressive, which is the thing that I think Zig lacked. Like he would go even or get a little bit ahead in lane, and then just
Zig, I always
not do
remember
anything.
playing tank tops too, and that's not as big in the meta either.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't
so
know.
we have our
Hold on.
Yeah, we have our first match still.
Hold on.
We picked
So,
everything else.
Did you go with Clutch or FlyQuest on that last game?
Clutch. I was asking you, since you're liking your FlyQuest, who you would pick.
God, Clutch makes sense, but this league does not. FlyQuest could take this game. This could be the game.
No, you got to pick your upsets. There's gonna be 4 upsets.
There's gonna be one.
We should get that. We should pick our picks, right?
And then do upsets.
And then we should call not even who's gonna upset who, but the amount of upsets there's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll start that this week. Yeah, I'm gonna take Fly. We're gonna try this out.
Right.
Let's
That's
see what
I
happens.
like to see.
Let's see what happens. And back to our first game of the day. T Liquid versus 100 Thieves.
It's really rough on this one.
Yeah.
Because I already picked 100 Thieves over TSM, but I think TL is over TSM also. So this one's even closer than that one. These are the only 2 teams that are going against each other that are tied in that spot. Because the other team is Liquid, 100 Thieves, and Clutch isn't playing either of them. So we just have Clutch, and Clutch should win both their games, so they're going to solidify a 3rd place spot because Liquid and 100 Thieves.
One of them is going to
drop out. Well, actually, Liquid could still go 2-0.
Yeah.
They both could, so it'll only be a 2-way tie after this week instead of a 3-way tie.
Yeah.
Well, no, I take that back because Clutch could still go 1-1. But the way I'm seeing it, it's going to be a 2-way tie.
Okay.
Because TL doesn't lose to CLG, but 100 Thieves could go 0-2, honestly, against TSM and Team Liquid. So.
Yeah, and that would drop them.
That would end up in a 2-way tie.
If TSM won a game, I think would that tie them? If TSM won at least one game, that would tie them.
If TSM wins their first game, they'll be tied with either whoever loses between TL and 100 Thieves.
Yep.
And that'll put them. They're already in 6th, so they're already in the playoffs. But so, what are you thinking? TL or 100 Thieves? If you have to, I'll go over the matchups. If you have to go over that, Impact better than Someday. Xmithy and Meteos I put about on the same level. I think Xmithy has the only thing Xmithy has better is his jungle proximity, I believe, is better than Meteos's, but Meteos's team fighting is better than Xmithy, I think. Pobelter and Ryu. Pobelter's
Both
played
of-
better this season than Ryu, but Ryu's still a good mid, but Pobelter's better. Double lift Cody Sun.
They both kind of
Super
been up
close.
and they both kind of have done this.
They both have very dominant games when they do well. I think Cody Sun is more dominant when he does well, but he's prone to that one mistake like he did on Immortals last season, and then he had another one that he did this year. The big one, Cody Sun last season in the at Worlds, to lose them out jumping in instead of jumping out to. Then they just went and ended the game after Cody Sun jumped in and died.
Well,
And he jumped in and then blew the other person into his other teammate, and they aced him. Anyway,
nothing's gonna be as bad as Stixay's misplay so far this season. He's done so many bad
Nothing?
plays.
you know this Cody Sun play I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, the Cody Sun, but did you see the one where Stixay jumped out of the back? Was it Stixay? I can't remember. There was ADC.
I'd have to see that play, but it doesn't get much worse than jumping in and knocking. You have two teammates left. You jump in, knock the enemy into your remaining teammate, so you die, and then they kill the other person who would have escaped, and you both would have escaped if you just jumped away, and then it ends the game and sends you home from Worlds.
Well,
It doesn't get much worse.
there was the
than
Baron.
that play.
The play I'm talking about. This split in NA LCS was they had just got their Baron stole from them, and they were all trying to leave the back of the pit. But the ADC went over first as Ezreal, and then shot the blast cone as all of his team flashed over, and they all went back over and all died.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But they already lost the Baron and didn't have a chance. Like, in this game, they were winning. They made one little mistake. They both could have gotten away, but Cody's son made it to where they both died. And then, plus, it's World, so it just makes it worse. Doesn't get worse than that
True,
Cody's son
true,
play.
true.
But he did another one this season that wasn't that bad, but still, like, just a big mistake. And double lift, you don't see him make too many mistakes.
I'm gonna
And
take.
then Ale Aframu is rough, too.
Yeah, they're pretty.
It's pretty close.
I think Prowley's better than Kane though. Move down as a coach.
Yeah, but neither of them are playing, so that doesn't matter.
As a coach, you know.
Oh man,
Or just
it's a rough one.
sub Ryu out and put Prowley in mid. Man, he got this.
All right, who's winning, dude?
I'm gonna take 100 Thieves. I was about to say that earlier.
All right, I'm gonna take Liquid.
All right, we'll see.
I was gonna go opposite whatever you went, really, just to get one up on you. It's that close, but I do feel more confident saying Liquid over 100 Thieves, honestly.
Let's see how many mismatches do we have this week. We mismatched
3.
on that first one. Then we have the
Golden
Fox and Golden
Guardians.
Guardians one.
And Fly
Fly and Clutch. Yep. No, we
Alright,
also
so
have,
how many,
we also have TSM and 100 Thieves too. That one is a mismatch.
Yeah. So we got 4 miss.
4 mismatches.
So how many upsets are gonna happen?
Classify upset.
Just overall? Huh?
Classify upset. So I would. TL,
So I'll tell you which games can have an upset.
Yeah.
CLG beating anybody, Golden Guardians beating anybody, FlyQuest in either of their games would be an upset, and Optic in either of their games is an upset. I think 100 Thieves TSM and 100 Thieves TL are too close to be an upset. FlyQuest. I take that back for FlyQuest. I don't think FlyQuest beating Clutch or TSM would be an upset necessarily. But
So it's just the Optic games and the
it's
Golden
basically
Guardian
the top-
games and
the top
Cloud
4
CLG
teams.
games.
the top 4 teams. Actually, hold up. Let me look at the rankings. So Echo Fox, Cloud9,
In Clutch.
and Clutch. If they lose any of their games, and who's TL playing second? And if TL loses to CLG, those are the upsets.
Okay. I'm going to say I don't see CLG doing shit this week. I will say at least one from the Golden Guardians possibly beating Echo Fox. Let's see. And then
I like how we both think that Golden Guardians could beat Echo Fox, but have no chance against Cloud9. Watch them beat both first place teams this week, dude. Oh, that'd be hilarious. I'm gonna say there's gonna be 3 upsets.
I was gonna say 2.
I'll say 3 upsets.
All right. So you say 2, 3.
3?
I say 2. All right.
And it's probably gonna end up being 5 or 6 or some garbage, but
Yeah, we're gonna
let's
be
hope not. Let's hope it
Trashed
stays the
again.
same.
All right. moving into the fantasy LCS picks for last week. So based on last week, so interesting enough, Echo Fox's team has been scattering and dropping out of the top 10 as everybody else moves up and takes those spots.
Yeah.
See a lot of different people, taking these things. Yeah. So who the fuck doesn't have Cody's son in our league? Why doesn't?
Nobody has Cody's son.
Huh. Damn. Or Phoenix.
Nobody has Phoenix either.
Huh. They're probably gonna go get it right now. If they're watching stream, they're gonna go drop and pick up. But that's okay.
I take it back. Actually, I have Phoenix.
Did you just pick them? Oh, you just. I did clip this on Sunday, so anything could have happened yesterday. I don't know. But interesting enough.
What'd you say? Nobody has Cody's son. Guess who has Cody's son?
All right.
Here's the thing: it's hard to play. It's hard to play them over certain people, though, right?
That's the thing, yeah, because you don't know if they're gonna do that well against who they're playing this week, because this is this.
Yeah, exactly.
Their overall
I usually
averages.
look at that. Like I picked up Apollo when they started going up, but I also picked up the team Echo Fox instead of Misfits, and I think Misfits did better last week. And I picked up Adrian also, and Adrian did decent. I also picked up Kabi, but it's like, so my mid laner is Bjergsen. Do I play Phoenix over Bjergsen? I mean, Phoenix or Echo Fox does have 2
relatively easy games.
Should be.
Yeah, relatively.
But you never know.
They'd be easy games. Yeah, relatively easy games. But looking at this, we used to see all 5 players of Echo Fox in this top 5. They were the top 5, but they've dropped off. The only one that we've seen drop off here is Adrian, though. You can still see Dardoch sitting at 10th, and you got Hooney and Phoenix and Altex sitting at the top as well.
Yeah.
But
so the
Reckless
2 AD carries I have is I have Kabi and Apollo. Do I play Cody Sun over them? Cody Sun has 2 very difficult games this week in Team Liquid and TSM.
I'd play Kabi.
So do you?
Kabi has some pretty easy games. UL has some nice games this week.
Yeah, exactly. They got Rockhat and G2. Well,
G2
they're 8 and 4 and 5 and 7. They're both going to be decent games, but like I said, 100 Thieves, Liquid and TSM could both beat them, and they're both going to be rough games. But does that mean they're rough games? Sometimes means more kills. If it was a 2 out of 3 series, then it changes completely. Then you really want Cody's son in there, because then a 2 out of 3,
one of those games is going to be a blow off.
He's going to pop off. Yeah, he's going to be able to pop off at least once, but in a single game, it's hard.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
It's hard to pick.
So.
But,
on the split, though, some things have changed. High is actually maintaining, and Anda are maintaining their spot at the top of their respective pools, with High with the most deaths and the most kill participation, and then Anda's sticking top with that vision score. But that might drop now with 8.4 coming in, losing his green smite, which I've seen him take, I think, almost every game. So.
Yeah, it'll probably drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Highest KD isn't surprising, though. All mid laners.
Forbidden though.
Bjergsen,
Forbidden though,
Phoenix.
A lot of people thought, it's at the beginning of the split, it was Bjergsen Jensen was the talk, and then you could possibly see Phoenix, Power of Evil was going to be in there. Forbidden was fourth,
that's just KD though. It's a lot of mid laners that you see that even if their team's losing, they still only have 1 or 0 deaths. You still see them stay in there really well.
But that brings up one of my questions though, is that Forbidden was seen as kind of like that mid-tier, 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th mid laner in the league, where I see his play, his team is winning off of him, or he's consistently doing well even if his team loses. And you can see that with Clutch, how they've made this jump to the top of the standings, and I've seen a lot of it off of Forbidden's back. And Power of Evil, they said he was better than Forbidden coming from the EU, but has not had the same effect on Optic. Is it just the team that's around him? Because Envy was last place last split. You're telling me that Forbidden carried them, and then Power People, who's supposed to be better, can't carry his team?
I don't know. I'm thinking if you put Power Evil in Forbidden's spot, he does really well also, honestly.
It might just be, that clutch
very
team. Yeah, the team.
Yeah, the team that Power of Evil has around him are a lot of
you got Dokler, Zig, and then you got Lyra, and who's the bottom?
Well, no, that's not Power of Evil's people.
Oh no, and I'm saying it's not Power. No, wait.
Yeah, Power of Evil had Zig, so that was
Zig or Dokla?
that's
Zig or
one
Dokla?
person that was hard to carry early on, is what I'm
Acadian.
saying.
Acadian's not known to be the best jungler.
And Acadian's new also, and then who's Optic's bot lane? Arrow and
Optic spot lane is Arrow and Lemon.
yeah.
Also, two people who
So
are known not to be the runner.
exactly.
They don't
So
run the game.
So it's very likely PoE what he has around him. If you put him in a vivid spot, they'd probably be doing just as well.
Okay. Which I think, this brings me to the power rankings. If I was to fix this, which I did not for this week because it is top 10, I would put Dokla above Zig. Mainly because
But here's the thing. The question is, do you put Dokla above anybody else?
No. God, no.
Yeah. Haven't seen him enough to be able to put him above anybody.
Last week I watched both of his games. So on Friday I watched the YouTube version of the Academy League's game because they don't stream the Thursday night game, but they put it on YouTube afterwards. And then I watched the actual live stream version of his game on Friday night, and I was like, man, this guy's actually really good. But then Academy's dumpstering on some pretty shitty top laners, or not too.
Yeah.
But then he comes into, which is weird because like he had to play 4 games this weekend. So he comes into the actual LCS professional scene on Saturday, and he also plays on Sunday. A lot of people thought they were going to switch back to Zig, but they did good. I think they did really good with him. And I think they won that first game, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won their first game with him, which was better than what they were doing with Zig sometimes. But the biggest thing I saw was like Zig would go even, or he would fall just a little bit behind, or sometimes
and then they had to play TSM, and he had to go against Hanser, which more difficult.
Yeah, more difficult. His play where he jumped over the golem pit to find 3 of them, and he's like, "Oh fuck, that's just a rookie mistake."
There's people here. Yeah,
there's people here.
Happens.
But
yeah, I didn't change any of my power rankings either. I'd probably move Darshan down and Flame up is about it. But yeah, I don't see anybody else changing where they are. Phoenix, I'd probably move up some also. That's about the only changes I'd make to my power rankings list here.
Yeah, so that's the hardest part right now for the Fantasy LCS is the aspect of all of the roster moves, like with Dokla, Stunt, and let's say you got Shrimp, you got Keen, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, I did the DraftKings.
You don't know who to pick.
I didn't pick Zig at all because he was awful. So any lineup that I made with Optic to win, I just didn't pick Zig at all, and then he didn't play. So
did they have Dokla on DraftKings this week?
I don't think they had Dokla on there. Sometimes they just don't even have the person on there. I think the first time JJ played, he wasn't on there. Just Stunt was. But you want the people who don't really have a backup and who've been playing well anyway. Like that's why I didn't pick Zig, because sometimes you'll make a lineup because it was Optic against Golden Guardians, right? So you make a lineup where Optic wins, right? Because it's a 2-game one. It was Optic against Golden Guardians and TL versus FlyQuest. So you make an Optic Team Liquid lineup. So you pick Team Liquid's top lane because Zig isn't going to do crap anyway, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then you have to pick the rest of Optic because, well, they're not going to switch out anybody else really. Everybody else has been playing decently at least. So when you make that 2-game lineup, you just don't pick the specific weak people, and you want Impact in there instead of Zig.
Yeah.
And then Power of Evil over, because he costs less, over TL's mid, and just stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. I worked on a couple for DraftKings this week as well, and it's hard to kind of, because you want to get these power picks that you know are going to get a lot of points, but of course DraftKings still is in that salary cap, and you have to start working with, which is where I see like the dark yellow or the light green part of your field as well as mine. I think it's that area, although they might not be in the same spots, is pretty similar.
Yeah, it always depends on how many
and just grabbing those people
about who else is against who.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we might have Jensen as the best, but when
Jensen's against Bjergsen or Pobelter, you can kind of see an even or like a
if Echo Fox is against them or something like that, then Jensen's going to be a lot cheaper because that game's going to be a lot closer. They always make the most expensive people, like if it's Golden Guardians against C9. Like this week, Golden Guardians against C9, Jensen's going to be the most expensive, High's going to be the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really want to make a lineup with all the cheapest people because Golden Guardians isn't going to beat C9, you know? But like I said, upset's very possible. But sometimes even when those upsets happen, they don't get a lot of kills in those games that they win.
Yeah.
And you would have been better off picking TSM against 100 Thieves because it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep. So that is about all that we had as far as the LCS goes. One thing that I wanted to talk about that was kind of cool. So I noticed that they started doing this last year. So I tweeted at them. I made a comment, and I was kind of a little bit mad because I look at the middle of the map in the north part of the map, and I'm like, so I understand these have the most population, and since last year they did add in, I think, a couple teams with the Tampa Bay, the Philadelphia, and the New York team, or no, the Philadelphia and the DC team, because all they had was Boston, New York, Chicago, and the ones on the East Coast, and then Miami and Houston, but they added in a few. But I'm like, why couldn't they pick St. Louis, Kansas Mo, Omaha, Nebraska, Milwaukee? Like,
I could have picked Oklahoma City.
I
mean, you just take places that have like a baseball team or a basketball team.
But like,
or something like
is there really not that much of a gaming core in those areas to not support? I've been to Milwaukee. They have a lot of gaming lounges in Milwaukee too, and I live in the Central Midwest, and I was kind of sad that the only team that I'd have to deal with if I wanted to, join these teams is way too far away. I got 8 hours in whatever direction I want to go to.
Denver's not too bad. You can be a Drake with your boy.
But that's still 40 minutes. That's still 40 minutes from you. So
I don't know how it works too well.
So how it works is there's each city has a team, and I'm not quite sure about how the roster works, but I believe there is one main roster and subsequent lower rosters, and every week you challenge for like a spot, kind of like wrestling. You challenge for your spot in the main roster. And if you make it onto the main roster, you play against these other teams from a theater or some special location. So you take your computer, or they provide you with a computer at a place, and you go there and you play against the other team. So that way it can be in a controlled, kind of like a online environment, but controlled. No scripting or anything like that can be done that way. There's some pretty cool things. You win actual riot points. I think there's a couple, like the overall championship at the end is money as well. All the teams provide you with free jerseys if you make that top roster team. So it's pretty cool. It's interesting. It's kind of like, to me, it's more organized, like men's league esports. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about signing up.
I can't go to.
I'm sure.
I don't have the money to go to a college team.
I'm sure I could get on. Sure, I could get onto Denver's team.
Yeah, I definitely. That's kind of why I put this in here. I want to see one that Denver team. I want to watch.
But it costs money to get up in there. Is the crappy part.
Does it?
Like just to participate.
I don't think it costs money. I think it just costs money for you to travel there.
No, it costs money to participate.
I mean, any men's league sport.
To get a ticket.
Grown up sport costs money too. So.
Yeah.
But
we'll see. It might be something I do. I'll probably still have quite a bit of time anyway.
If anybody's interested, I know I'm not, because there's nothing close to me, which I already voiced my opinion about.
And you're not good enough.
I'm also not good enough. No, I'd be a coach maybe. I think I could provide some analysis. But if anybody else is interested who's watching this video, either on YouTube or on Twitch, definitely go check this out. I think it's a cool thing, and the more people we get into it, the bigger we could possibly get it, and maybe it could come to my area. I don't know. But I think it's just really cool for expanding the scene, and as we get older as gamers, giving us an outlet to still be competitive even after. Let's say like Aframu's like 33 and he's retired now and he still wants to do something. So I don't know. You know if it's restricted for you can't be a retired professional. You have to be.
I don't know.
That'd be an interesting thing to look up. But I believe that is all for this week that I had.
Yeah.
So, other than that, 2 plus 2 is 5.
Quit saying that. Nobody cares.
There's no such thing as exact numbers on Earth. But with that, I will end the stream.
God, you're an idiot.
If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're watching this on Twitch, come follow my channel so that way I can get some love too.
There you go.
All right. Peace out. Peace out. Hey, I almost forgot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the content, we'll be back for more next week.